Hello, how have you been? It has been quite a while since I had shot my last video. You know, I'm not making excuses, but it has been really hectic with me having to take up many sort of online examinations, vivas, and assignments. But this is a video that I have been meaning to shoot for a long, long time, and finally I have found this time appropriate to read couple of poems and discuss about a sort of hashtag promotion, particularly in the wake of the scrapping of Article 377. Right. So before I go into the scrapping of Article 377, let me go down to reading a couple of poems that I have been meaning to read for my viewers, for my subscribers for a long, long time. So without wasting any more time, let us read a couple of poems from Andrew Macmillan's Physical. From Andrew Macmillan's Physical. This is the book that I will be reading my couple of poems from. The first poem which I am planning to read is from Andrew Macmillan's Physical's How to Be a Man. Too young to know anything of death. Get sent upstairs when someone knocks at the door on a Sunday. Too young to come back down until you are told. Eavesdrop. Grandma, are you sure you're okay? Dad, I'm fine. See your dad's dad dying. The kind of dying where the body forgets itself slowly. How to walk, how to speak, how to swallow solids. Watch your sister hugging the father of a child. Go to the other room, computer television, a comedy, impressions, show, and a joke about someone's stature. Laugh harder than you should have or wanted to. Go back to the front room. Recount the joke about stature to the seated family. Dad, I know we hard. Are you okay? Say you are fine. See your dad's face like an empty box. You thought you knew how men were meant to grieve. You thought all men felt distant from their fathers. You thought all men grieved like small Greek women in black who say the bread still needs to be baked. You thought men simply carried on when your dad unfolded in front of you. Nobody had taught you how to fix him back together. So this is a poem which is titled by Macmillan, How to Be a Man, that I'm reading from Macmillan's Physical. And I promised you I'll be reading two poems. Here I am, reading the second poem of Macmillan. The men are weeping in the gym. The men are weeping in the gym, using the hand dryer to cover their sobs. Their hearts have grown too big for their chests. Their chests have grown too big for their shirts. They are dressed like kids who have forgotten their games kit. They are crying in the toilet. Men are crying in the toilet. And because they have built themselves as statues, this must mean that God has entered them. They are wringing their faces like sweat towels in the sink. Their veins are about to burst their bangs. They are flooding out of themselves onto the tiles. They have turned water into protein shakes. They have got too close to the mirrors. They have got too close to the glass. And now they are lying in the broken pools of their own faces in lines of them. At the decline press, the biceps curl, waiting, staring straight ahead, swearing that the wetness on their cheeks is perspiration, that the words they mutter as they lift are meaningless, that they feel nothing when the muscle tears itself from itself, that they don't hear the thousands tiny fractures needed to build something stronger. So these are the two poems that I have been wanting to read for my subscribers for a long, long time. I would request all of you to focus on few lines that I have read. The men are weeping in the gym, using their hand dryer to cover their sobs. Number one. Number two, they have turned protein shakes into waters. Number three, their veins are about to burst because they have worked so hard in their gym. They have worked so hard to impress their girlfriends. They have worked so hard to become almost a very similitude of Salman Khan. And the fourth thing that I would request you to remember is that they don't even hear the thousands of tiny fracturings needed to build something stronger. So they don't hear even the noise of their bones fracturing themselves while working out in gym. These men are so obsessed. These men are so excruciatingly, painfully obsessed with working out in gym, with developing abs and pecs, that they have forgotten. Even they can't even hear the sound that their bones are creating while they are getting fractured. So they can't even hear the fracturing of their own bone sounds. And they don't eat water. They don't drink water, They don't drink water. Then what do they drink? They drink protein shakes. They drink protein shakes. They don't drink water. They drink protein shakes. And there is another line which is saying that they are crying in toilets using their hand dryer for their sobbing. Why? Because men don't cry. Because men don't cry. Men don't cry in public. If you are a man, you are not supposed to cry in public. Nobody should watch you cry. Nobody should find you crying. No. You can't get caught crying in public, in front of public gaze, if you are a man. Then what if I feel like crying, though I am a man, in spite of me being a man, what if I feel like crying? Okay, you can go hide yourself inside the bathroom. Open the tap so that the sound of the sob doesn't go outside. Open the shower so that the sound of your sobbing never reaches outside, so that nobody finds that the man inside the toilet is crying and weeping their tears with their hand dryer that they work and use inside the gym. And they continue to cry inside the gym. They continue to cry inside the gym. So all men are crying, but they cannot express. All men are finding working out in gym extremely excruciatingly painful, but they cannot express their pain because मर्द को, say with me together, you all know the phrase in Hindi, because मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता, because men don't ache, because men don't suffer pain. Nobody can hurt man. So unless you break your skull, you break your bone, you almost kill yourself with tobaccos and gutkas, unless you almost choke yourself with cigarette smokes. Unless you almost die while riding a bike and crashing to an electric pole or to a wall, you don't become man. You don't become man. So, what if a man cry in public? If a man cries in public? What if a man cries in public? What if a man cannot ride a bike? What if a man uses umbrella in broad daylight because he cannot tolerate the sun rays? What if a man loves to dress? What if a man loves color, loves rainbow? Then there would be, this is something that is very interesting, then there would be many men and women who say, no, we understand, we are a liberating kind of people, we are new liberals. We tolerate this kind of funny men because maybe they are gay, maybe they are not heterosexual men. So what do? They club effeminacy with being gay, and they club lesbianism with masculinity. But the problem is that I have seen many gay men who are not necessarily effeminate, but I have seen many lesbian women who are not necessarily masculine. So these assumptions therefore become extremely patriarchal, asymptomatically patriarchal. What is the difference between symptomatic and asymptomatic patriarchy? A symptomatic patriarchy is the infection which is easily visible and discernible, right? And asymptomatic patriarchy is the infection which is something that is not visible. Even the infected person, the person who is infected by patriarchy, does not even know that he is infected by patriarchy. So what does he do? He spreads the disease outside even more, because nobody would suspect them with infection. He does not even suspect himself for infection. So it is the asymptomatic patriarchal people that we need to be more worried about than the symptomatic patriarchy, because symptomatic patriarchy is very easy. Symptomatic patriarchy belongs to primarily hegemonic men. They are very easy. Everyone can spot hegemonic men. They will work work out in gym, they will never cry, they will ride bike, they will pick up their women, they will crash their bike either with electric pole or with the wall of your house. They will break their skull, they will break somebody's skull. Violence, 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 and they die. So they are hegemonic men. They are the the bastard children of these Salman Khans and these John Abrahams or these Tiger Shroffs. Right? Everybody knows them. Everybody knows them. Everybody can identify them. Everybody can discern them. Everybody can spot them. Everybody can locate that, oh, this is symptomatic patriarchy. But asymptomatic patriarchy is very difficult to identify, it's very difficult to track and fathom, because mostly they are complicit men. They are not Salman Khan themselves. They prescribe hegemonic masculinity to others. And any kind of prescriptive masculinity is complicit masculinity. They are the policemen, the custodians of patriarchy. Right? So, therefore, many non-toxic men who are gentle, who are non-violent, who are soft, who do not ride bike, who ride scooty, who are extremely polite, soft-spoken, they can be asymptomatic patriarchal people in the sense of being complicit men. They can fall into the category of complicit masculinity very easily. They are more dangerous than the explicit masculinity of hegemonic men. So therefore, hegemonic masculinity represents very easily discernible symptomatic patriarchy, whereas asymptomatic patriarchy is something that is encoded in the complicit masculinity. And whenever we talk about masculinity, we talk about men, the discussion often hovers around about LGBTQ community. Now, there was a time when the Honorable Court scrapped Article 377, and that scrapping of 377 and brought joy and delight amongst LGBTQ community. And they started saying, oh, love is love. Really? Really? Love is love? Last time I checked, the court gave the verdict for sex, for homosexuality. When did sex become love? Because the trouble of converting, the trouble of transforming unhesitatingly sex into love is sentimentalization of patriarchy. Let me explain this very clearly. Because what does patriarchy do? Patriarchy sentimentalizes sex as love. And this sentimentalization of sex as love is asymptomatically patriarchal. Therefore, the court order should have been like sex is sex instead of love is love. But we, the middle class bourgeois, love to convert sex into love. And this conversion is a strategy of patriarchy sentimentalizing love into sex. Therefore, there is a word that is doing the rounds these days called homoromance instead of homosexuality. That is to be translated in Bengali shomopremi instead of shomokami. And when we use the word shomopremi, that is homoromantic instead of homosexual or shomokami, then what we are doing, we are sentimentalizing sex as love. Therefore, the very word shomopremi, homoromantic, homoromance, is that sentimentalized version in which sex is converted into love and thereby asymptomatically betrayal. Whereas the very word shomokami, that is homosexual or homosexuality, is desentimentalized version where sex remains and retains as sex with all its promiscuity, and then that is feminist. So therefore, the very word shomokami, homosexual, is extremely feminist and celebrates sex as sex with all its promiscuity, whereas the very word shomopremi, homoromance, homoromantic, is extremely asymptomatically patriarchal in the sense of having converted, in the sense of having transformed sex into love. And since it sentimentalizes sex into love, so therefore the word homoromance or shomopremi is asymptomatically patriarchal. So, is love? I'm not too sure, but sex is sex. And Article 377 being scrapped celebrates love is love? I'm not too sure, but sex is sex? Absolutely, with all its promiscuity. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your subscription. And thank you for your love, support, and enviable fan base. Keep supporting this channel. Keep sharing these links. Keep sharing these videos. And I promise you, I'll catch you very, very soon, notwithstanding my crazy busy schedule. Thank you. Thank you so much. See you soon. Meanwhile, bye-bye.